child of God. Perfect and exquisite expression of all creation. The perfection of what you are. Is what incarnation is for, to learn and remember and embrace the beauty and perfection of creation. Humanity has believed itself to be many, many things. Body, individuality, different, damaged, needing to prove. None of these have been true. But they are held with such ferocity that they tend to be defended, even though they are the cause of pain and suffering. That is the insanity. To protect and defend pain and suffering. Now is the time for love to shine, to embrace the divine love that you are, the peace that you are, the light that you are, the beauty that you are, the joy that you are, not in separation, but in the perfect union of returning to the one heart. And letting go of the belief, the illusion, the dream state of being separate. Imagine the life of ease and peace and joy, the freedom of being held, revered, honored, and at the same time light and without worry of any kind. In this moment, the surrender of all the concepts of separation, you have the power to surrender. You have the power to choose. You have the power to accept that creation, God makes no mistakes. And all creation is without mistakes, without flaws, without the perception of damage, lacking jealousy, lacking envy, lacking greed, lacking the perception of danger, lacking suspicion, all of it disappearing because it never was. Never was. In this moment, the willingness to begin again. Every moment, a new moment of divine grace, holding love as its center, and accepting no one has done anything to change the truth of love. No petty ideas of separation can withstand the power of the light. No petty thoughts of knowing can touch the perfection of all creation. All is still the divine light of God. All is still the harmony and beauty of love. Awakening and allowing vision to open of truth, perfection that is waiting to be recognized. Offer your heart to the divine vision of truth, willing to see every beloved as the light of God, willing to embrace every aspect of creation as the light of God, everything in form being embraced and wanting to see with true vision the light that is waiting just beyond what the eyes think they see, what the ears think they hear. Surrender your ears, surrender your eyes, surrender the past, and the light will dawn in the heart and free the mind of its torturous past. Allow and accept in this moment that every choice in every moment is a choice between love and fear. And in this moment, choosing to breathe is choosing to love. Choosing to breathe deeply and fully with full consciousness that in the holy breath of love, you are saying yes to being here, here where your remembering is, here where you have incarnated because you believed in separation, and yet right here the Holy Spirit can use all forms that have been erroneously believed in for healing itself. And breathing in this moment And in every moment, remembering that with every breath, you are saying yes, yes, Divine Mother. And with every breath, you are saying yes, Divine Father. Show me the way. Yes, yes, yes. And breathing and accepting. You are always in the heart of God. You are always the light of God. And breathing and accepting. You are always the Spirit of God. In this moment, the willingness as you breathe to surrender the identity of being a body into the hands of God. No longer willing to be in battle with a temporary form. No longer willing to give allegiance to a flash of existence that really didn't exist at all. The willingness to embrace the pure spirit of your true life. The willingness to accept the one heart. Every minute, divine newness to remember. Breathing and allowing. Focusing attention on the willingness to love. Focusing attention on your purpose and refusing to accept the past, refusing to accept the mind's games of separation, and accepting the blessings of remembering, accepting that through the offering of love, the heart remembers. And breathing and allowing. This moment is the only moment. Surrendering the past into the hands of God. Surrendering the future to be unlike the past into the hands of God. Breathing and allowing. And in this moment, humbly accepting, I will breathe with God. Humbly accepting, I will breathe through the Divine Mother and Father as one. Allowing, breathing, happily surrendering. And as you breathe, breathing into the heart and consciously bringing the heart forward, willing to open the heart and express love through the heart, willing to allow the rays of love to be offered, undefended, releasing completely the lie that to defend promotes safety. When the Divine Mother and Father are whispering, your safety is in being undefended. Your safety is never compromised. You cannot be hurt. You cannot be damaged. You cannot change the truth of love. Accepting, breathing. Breathing and affirming. Here in the infinite circle of love, we are one, always here, always present, always the happiness of union. Affirming in this moment and accepting this universe is all love. This sanctuary is filled with that love, being all that there is, and nothing that the mind can conjure up can change the truth of love. Breathing, allowing. There is only one presence here. It is the life force of God. Within this life force, within the yes and the acceptance of this life force, we live and move and breathe as one. One heart in the union of love. Breathing, allowing, accepting. Allow this prayer to vibrate through your heart, opening your heart, the willingness to release the defense system that has been produced by fear, willing for that to be healed, willing for that to be transformed, to open the heart, returning to love. Come along, brother, let's go on this path of light and love. Come along, sister, let's go on this path of light and love. With our Father and our Mother, and letting all pain go. Let us pray and work for this goal. It's the task of our lives. I see the Spirit, I see my soul, I see the light in me. As my heart opens like a flower, I become the living God. I create and I am created within the oneness of all. To take this leap of faith, that as your heart opens like a flower, you recognize the living God. But the heart must be opened by choice. As you have made the decision in the past to protect and defend, now is the calling for love to shine, to open the heart, gladly taking that leap of faith to no longer live in poverty, believing in soul poverty, believing in limitation, all now surrendered. as the heart opens like a flower and the living God is recognized. Happily, joyfully, yes. Oh, my Divine Mother, Divine Holy Mother, you come to us now, opening the heart as we willingly offer the heart. I'm here to open up my heart so that I can see with love, so that I can embrace the truth of all love. Come, come, come and guide my life. Show me the way. Come to give light to all beloveds. Let them find the light through your arms. Come to give light to those who have not been able to see because of fear. Come to give light to the heart for those who are asking, for those who are willing. Divine Mother, you are always here, saying, come, come, come. Here I receive you. I prostrate myself at your feet. My heart I give to you, and I ask you for deeper faith. I ask you for the courage to remember the truth. I ask you for faith here within my heart. I ask you to light up my heart so that I can see with the clarity of truth. Oh, my Blessed Mother, guide my beloveds, who are all of us arriving together, one heart, at the divine door. And we were here to learn how to love, and now we come to the door and enter with love. Oh, minha Senhora Mãe, Senhora da Conceição, venha agora conosco, abrir meu coração para eu poder ver. Vem guia minha vida, ó Virgem da Conceição. Vem dar luz aos teus filhos, vem proteger meus irmãos. Vem dar luz ao que não vem, vem dar luz ao coração. Aqui a te recebo, prostrado aos vossos pés. Meu coração te dou, te peço a minha fé, te peço a minha fé. Dentro do meu coração, te peço a minha luz, ó Virgem da Conceição. Guia os meus irmãos, para todos juntos chegar no porto divino, depois que soubemos amar. I ask for faith. I ask for strength. I ask to remember. I ask for help to lay the weapons of defense down. I ask for the strength and the light to remember the truth of every beloved. I ask, I pray, and I accept the help that is always available. To ask for the help is an element that the ego does not have any relationship to. The ego thinks it knows everything. The ego is always planning and scheming, trying to figure things out, when all that is required, all that is helpful, is to ask. Ask for the help of love to show the way. Hold my hand, beloved light. Hold my hand as I walk in the direction of truth. Hold my hand and walk with me as I return to love. Now is the time. Now is the time to be aware that all that you are is sacred. Not what the ego has made, but what God has created is sacred. Now, why not consider a lasting truce with yourself and God? Why continue to battle with the light? Now is the time to be aware that all your ideas of right and wrong, good and bad, were just a child's training wheels, to be laid aside when you finally live with veracity and love. Who has need for these false idols of good and bad and right and wrong when love is waiting? When love is the wholeness of life itself. Hafiz is a divine envoy, as all masters are, whom the Beloved has written a holy message upon. Receive the message and be relieved of the burden of lies. Receive the blessing and rest in the comfort of love itself. My dear, please tell me, why do you still throw sticks at your heart and at God? What is it that the convincing voice inside, what is it in that convincing voice inside that still incites you to fear? Why are you holding on to this upside downness? Now is the time for the world to be aware that every moment and every inspiration is sacred. Open to your sacredness. Open to the divine inspiration that is waiting within your heart to be recognized and to be acted on. The inspiration of love. This is the time for you to deeply compute the impossibility that there is anything but grace. Now is the time for you to deeply compute, deeply accept, deeply recognize the impossibility that there is anything but grace. Nothing else is happening. Everything else are mirages, fantasies from the past, of nightmares that used to be believed in and now must be let go. Just like the child who is letting go of toys that the child has outgrown, accepting the way of the divine. Now is the season to be aware that everything you touch is sacred. Everything. When your heart is touching, everything is sacred. The conscious journey. What is it to be conscious? To be awake is to be conscious. And it is an awakening. It's a stepping out of a fantasy world where everything happens by habit, where everything happens in a trance, where everything happens from the past, repeated again and again and again, instead of, this is not God's way. This is not the way of love. I must go on the road of love. I must accept the road of love. I must say yes. Now is the time to know that all that you are is sacred. Contemplate this truth. This is what God sees. This is what every master sees, the sacredness of all life, the sacredness of all being, the sacredness of every moment, sacred and perfect, because it is love. Now is the time to realize that all your old ideas of right and wrong have to be put aside. All the old ideas of what you thought you knew, positive, negative, likes and dislikes, all of it, let go. Recognizing if there is no judgment in God, why would I spend my time judging? If there is no judgment in God, which I promise you there is no judgment in God, why would you bother with the upside downness of something that has no purpose? How do you see yourself? Are you willing to see yourself as the divine sees you? Are you willing to see yourself in the perfection of love? How do you see yourself? Positive or negative? Does it change from moment to moment, depending on what you think you know? One moment, oh, I like this. The next moment, I hate that. At the whim of experience, at the whim of the mood of the day, at the whim of circumstances. Imagine letting it all go. How do you see yourself? Do you revere yourself as God reveres you? Not in a way of, I'm special, I'm great, I'm the cat's meow. No. I'm one with the light. I'm one in the divine Mother and Father with all creation. I accept this light. Do I see myself as grandiose or debased? On a whim? On a circumstance? On a habit? All are equally untrue. All are equally made up. All are equally unreal. But the willingness to let them all go is the leap of faith. The leap of faith. The willingness to see yourself through the holiness of God. And to see everyone through the holiness of God. There's a belief in the ego that says, the convincingness of the ego that sneers with clenched teeth. If I let go, if I accept my heart to be open, I can't protect anymore. I can't defend. I can't plan and give myself the illusion that I'm in charge of something. And yet, the power of the universe is being offered to you because it's who you are. The power of gentleness, the power of ease, the power of a light heart, the power of eternal life. It's all offered to you because it's who you are. It's not because you won the golden prize by doing something terrific. It is who you are by your very nature. You are the light of God. To see yourself through that light of the holiness of God, and to see every beloved through that light, to see everything in creation, to see everyone, everywhere, everything in the light of love. The willingness to recognize that no one is alone in anything. Everything that you think, everything that you judge, every opinion that you have, everything that you say or do touches all creation. Not because it's real. If it is the truth, if everything that you think which comes from love is that loving offering, it will be a blessing. It will bless everything. It will create, it will have flowers blooming because of that divine creation of your heart. Or if the ego is running, it will just be a wall that says no to love. And the realization of the oneness will fade into the background and just not be available to you. The love is still completely expressing itself while you're not aware of it. But love calls to you. Love wants you to return, to complete the beauty and the perfection of its wholeness. There is an ecstatic lover, even in the belief of separation. The ecstatic lover longing to return home. The ecstatic lover that can't wait to bring its heart to God and wants only that. That's not the fool. There's no foolishness in that ecstatic lover. There is only grace and the happiness of being the ecstatic lover and returning to God. Imagine that you would take the opportunity to use the day, to really use time for its divine purpose, to surrender time into the hands of the Holy Spirit so that it can truly be used to transform. Imagine just deeply, deeply being in that relationship with the impossibility that there is anything but grace, that nothing else exists. What is it to accept that there is nothing else that exists except grace? what that is the denial of your own mind. The denial of the fabrication of a war. To admit that in the past you believed in war is the first step in healing. To admit and to accept, I didn't wander into the war and get sucked in by circumstance. I believed in the war. I made the war. I wanted to be the general of the war. I wanted to earn medals in the war. I wanted to be the hero of the war and to prove that I was right. In that recognition, healing truly begins. The lies have to be recognized in order to be let go. When we hide from the lies out of fear of identification, we don't allow the light to enter, and we make the lies real to us. When we try to protect a self-image, when we try to protect a concept of self, we make those concepts real to us, rather than the willingness to let the grace of God shine its light on these lies so they can be dispelled. The happiness, the joy, the ecstatic lover, so happy that the lies of the past were just that, lies, made up stories, made up concepts that cannot survive in the light. They depend on shadows. They depend on loyalty of more lies. Let the light shine on all the lies from the past, happily opening your heart to welcome all the beloveds from the past that you used to think were the enemy. Now, happily embracing each beloved as the light of God. This is the return home. And this is the recognition that there is nothing else but grace. The willingness to accept that only grace exists. The ego would say, well, it's hard to believe this stuff isn't real. But this is the power of the mind that can make up a whole life of pain and suffering, a whole world of pain and suffering. All of humanity caught in the belief of pain and suffering, believing in war, believing in lack, believing in battle, fighting, hatred. It's not someplace else. It's in every beloved. Not because it's true, but just because there's been a mistaken identity held, a lie that holds no light, no light. Why not consider a lasting truce with you and God? A truce, forever a truce. A truce that says, I will no longer battle with you, dear God. I will no longer doubt the truth that you send to me. I will no longer battle to be right and hold myself away, dear God. Divine light, divine Mother and Father, I come to your embrace and I welcome it. I come to your embrace and I accept it. I come to your embrace and I revel in it. I accept my welcome home. Every beloved has many elements that it's developed to defend the war. But most of them are thought to be just ordinary, normal places of behavior. Expectations. Expectations are the ego's war of pain and disappointment. Every time you have an expectation, an idea, it has to come from the past. It can't come from any place else. It has no other source except to come from the past. A fantasy of finally getting something that will change something about you, that will right the wrongs of your belief of the past. But there is no healing here. There is no possibility of healing here. All it does is continue the game, the expectations. Can you be in the moment, truly be in the moment, and not let your mind wander into expecting something that you think you already know? Every moment is whole and complete in love. This moment, whole and complete, all love. Nothing to expect. It's all here. What could the mind make up that is more than all of love that is here? You are this love. You are the light of God. What are you expecting and looking for that could top being the light of God? It's all just habit. It's the belief that if you don't fill out your expectation card, you won't be in control. You won't be able to manipulate and maneuver everything to be as the ego wants it from the past. But in this expectation, the ego is breeding disappointment. The ego is breeding failure. The ego is breeding pain. Every once in a while, the ego will throw out a tidbit where you think something is really panning out. Give it 10 minutes, half an hour. The bloom will be off the rose, and the eagle will say, "What's next? That didn't satisfy me. I need the next thing. I need the next expectation. That one didn't do it." It's an addiction that will never be satisfied, because it can't be satisfied. It's hollow. There's no love. It's just smoke and mirrors. Love is here now. Love is what you are. That coming home, that willingness to come home and be here and expect nothing, so that everything can be revealed. When you let go of the little mind that has expectations, you can open to the grace of God, to the everything that is love. When you let go of the little mind, that all the little mind wants to do is give this little narrow, sordid relationship with the world, living in a place of contraction, living in a place of demands, living in a place of pain and disappointment. Step out of the narrowness, open, and let God lead you. Let love have its way with you. Let love commune with you. Listen to the divine voice of the Mother and Father. Listen. Embrace the divine, the grace of God that is always here. Listen. Accept. No more resistance. The acceptance that it is kindness, kindness that touches the heart within, to choose again, to choose love, to choose peace, to choose harmony. That is the kindness. Expectations are not kind. Expectations take you down into a tunnel of pain and suffering. The kindness of choice, the kindness of indoctrination into the truth, the kindness of following, the kindness of devotion, the kindness of obedience, the kindness of correction, the kindness to choose. So kind, so loving, that you learn to love, that you no longer want to self-attack, that you no longer want to make a battleground of life. I surrender. I surrender. Always loving. I surrender. I surrender to the love that is always with me, always around me, always within me, always, all that is. I surrender. I surrender. into the yes of love. Dear, please tell me, why do you still throw sticks at your heart and at God? No more. No more. Nothing to battle with, nothing to hate. The willingness to surrender the self-hatred. The willingness to surrender as the Divine Mother and Father are patiently waiting for the surrender, for you to let go and accept the love that surrounds you, that is in you, that is all that there is, the yes to love. Loving and becoming the ecstatic lover, longing to return home. I will accept my welcome home. The fear of God is what gives the ego its energy. The fear of love. The fear of losing control, as if there was anything to control. The willingness, the kindness, and to let go of being personally concerned about anything. How can you be personally concerned about anything when there is no personal? How can you spend time thinking that being personally concerned has any value when it is not a thought of God, when it is not a thought of love? That you truly want to open to the light and be shown the way, because love is wanting to show you the way. Always. Love never judges. Love never criticizes. Love never fears. Love doesn't know. Love learns what love needs to learn and accepts the learning with deep gratitude. How do you see yourself? The willingness to shine the light with the Holy Spirit on how you've held yourself in the past, and happily, joyfully surrender these false ideas into the hands of God. That nothing that you ever thought about yourself, all the information that you've gathered in all the lifetimes, none of it meant anything. You're the light of God. Nothing else is true. You're the light of the universe. Nothing else is true. Imagine to let go of your belief in battle and to recognize that when you believe in battle, when you believe in whatever shows itself as battle, irritation, upset, disturbance, fear of any kind, that is always the ego battling with the ego. Love doesn't battle. So you're just watching a grudge match between two elements of lies that have an agreement to fool you into thinking that this has purpose, into thinking that this has validity and that it will result in something. But all that it ever results in is pain and the belief of separation affirmed. It has no real purpose. It has no value at all. Imagine that you could surrender being right now and never pick it up again. That you would put being right into the bonfire of love, letting it burn up, and you wouldn't pick it up again. You would be happy to be happy instead of right. That one choice would transform all of life. I'm happy to never be right again. Because there's nothing to be right about. Because all the thought of being right comes from the past. Has no place else to come from. And there is nothing right about the past. It's all made up. I give being right into the bonfire of love, and I choose not to ever pick it up again. I let love lead, and let love show the way, and let love decide what is most helpful. I let love lead. I let love show the way. I let love decide what is most helpful. I let love decide what is true. I let love heal. I let love bring blessings to the world. I let love. No one is alone in anything. All of creation is your heart. All of creation, as it truly is, as the light of God, is your heart. And you have the power within you to join in transformation. You have the power within you to join in the transformation of all of humanity. You have the power within you to bless and bring grace to all the lies that have been made up in the past. Bless everyone and learn the beauty of blessings. Bless everyone and find peace in your heart. Bless everyone and become the ecstatic lover that is coming home. Always coming home. What is it in that convincing voice within that incites you to fear? The fear of love is really upside down. But everything from the past has said, you have the right to be fearful of love. Because you believe that you are a separate identity, you're afraid of that death. You're afraid of losing the identity that you spent so much time and effort making. You're afraid that love is like your thoughts, filled with judgment, filled with fear. But love doesn't know fear. And love doesn't know judgment. Love blesses. Love nourishes. Love caresses. Love allows. Love lights everything. Love dances. And love joyfully enjoys that love is all that there is. And love breathes in the happiness that only love exists. Now is the time to be aware that all that you are is sacred. Sacred being purity itself. Sacred being light itself. Sacred being the divine creation of creation. The reverence of love allows your heart to fly, soar in the beauty and the perfection of love. But to learn to be still and to no longer believe the chattering of the mind, the concept of knowing, the planning, the expectations, the decision-making in the belief of the need to protect and defend. All of this is being called to be brought to the bonfire of love and let go. Let go. Allow the miracle to transform everything that you offer. Allow the miracle to truly, truly transform through your willingness, through your active participation of offering blessings, of offering love, of offering light. In the everyday life, all day long, in every moment, for a while in the journey, there is a choice between love and fear. And the communion of love is to let go of what you think you know and accept love in the moment. And to recognize that however fear shows up, what thoughts are being carried, what judgments are being produced, what opinion is being made, it's all fear. And to recognize that the presence of fear through thought, through habit, is a sure sign that you are trusting in your own strength. And that will be very fearful. Because in truth, there's nothing to trust in your own strength. Your own strength is connected to death. Your own strength is on the road to death, the death of the body. But the strength of God is alive. The strength of God is the life force of transformation and the life force of love itself and living as and in love. Don't trust in your own strength. When you find yourself in fear, it is because you trust in your own strength and your own need to protect and defend. There's no strength there. It's a weakness, masquerading as strength. It's fear masquerading as strength. It truly has no strength. But open your heart and be undefended and recognize that you don't know anything, and you will find the strength of God. You will find that strength in your willingness to be led, to be shown, to be communed with. There was a beloved that once said, prayer is how we communicate with God, and meditation is how God communicates with us. Until there is no us and there is no God, it's all one. And letting prayer and meditation melt together and opening to that holy communion beyond words, and letting the vibration of love completely have its way, and let that vibration of love move you. Let the vibration of love speak through you. Let the vibration of love lead your day. Let the vibration of love correct your way. Let the vibration of love make all decisions for you, and returning home to where you truly belong. Let the journey unfold. And forgive all the thoughts of the past. Forgive the false identity. Forgive the false identity that's been given to everything. I don't know. I don't know, but I am willing. I don't know how to look on anything. I don't know what anything is for. I don't know what anything means. I don't know. And in that loving kindness, love will speak. Love will lead. Love will transform. Love will heal. And the remembering will open the mind and awaken to the light of one. One heart. Now it's the time to be aware that everything that you are is sacred. Everything that you touch is sacred. Everything that you bless is sacred. Everything that you offer of truth and love is sacred. Sacred light of God.